It's probably 1920.
18.
I mean, 18. They're
18. Yeah, just turning 18. Yeah, 18.
All
Yeah.
teenagers.
Yes, and younger, 18 and younger. So it's a relatively young team, and I think we kind of press the reset button for now. You know, 'cause, sometimes you just have to try to
So
start
is that good or a bad thing? I mean,
Reset or the power off.
is that a good or a bad thing?
No,
Why is there a reset button? What happened to the people that are in the 20s or in the 30s or in the fall or elder statesmen? Where are they in the sport?
How would I put this now? Gently. Yeah, you have to understand that, table tennis, the environment in table tennis don't really provide the same thing that a football and in terms of financing.
Keeping the players in.
Yeah. So,
So there tend to be always gaps in.
yes, because, as you get older, you have more responsibilities. And so right now, the players in the 20s and 30s, they don't have that time. Because Mark Phillips made the team, and because of time and work, could not attend the CSE games, so he had to give up his spot to a younger.
Okay, so you're saying I didn't have any responsibilities for 20 years then?
No.
I just stepped I played last year, so I didn't have
No, but you stepped down this year. So you say, obviously, because obviously if the money was in it, you were still playing, obviously. But the money right now, it's kind of very little.
Not money alone. Other things.
Yeah, man.
That it's not all about money. Some of it is passion. Some of it is you're just doing what you like.
Yeah.
Some of it has its benefits. I mean,
but we have to face reality though. The finances is a big part of it, especially when you're getting older and you have this to deal with, that to deal with. So when I said a reset button, I mean in terms of, because Mark had to pull out, you had to pull out for maybe different reasons, but when I said a reset button, is that it's just a fresh team we're starting with now. And but
good. I see a lot of talent. I mean, on both the male and female side. I hope they stick with it. I see where they're getting better. I mean, you're the coach, and you know there's room for improvement. But I mean, give us your take on where you see these individuals in the next year or next 5 years. Wow, like to see the victories are, but we know the road is rough, and I mean, you're doing the groundwork whereby people not going to see that work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But when you get the results later on, which I know you're coaching and aiming towards, I mean, tell us where you see the inroads, the journey for the next maybe 3 years, 5 years for Jamaica table tennis.
For the next 5 years, well, immediately I think we're in trouble. Yeah, we're in trouble. We're in deep trouble. The sport has changed. People might say that it's changed over the past 5 years, but I think it even changed. There's a change that's happening now in terms of how the game has been played. And I think we have to do a better job here in Jamaica in terms of the prep school coaching and the primary school coaching, the coaching at the lower level, to instill certain fundamentals and to recognize certain changes that's happening in the game and get with the time.
I don't think that's for table tennis alone.
Every sport. Yes. So I'm being, I'm
basketball.
Yes.
I mean, I think one of the reasons why we are producing in athletics is because of the coaching. Even at the champs level, you see all schools all over the island performing. I think it's down to coaching. I don't think you just pop out of the woodwork. I think 20 years ago there was talent. There was talent there. But because
so you
there's
think
proper coaching, you tend to unearth these talents more. Because there's more coaching spread.
And also, I would say I don't want to. I agree.
It's not that complex, but yet still.
It is a sport that requires less at the start.
Yes.
So I agree with you. The coaching has developed. It has gotten better over the years. I agree with you.
If you look at shot put, discus, javelin.
Yes, it's improved. It's improved.
Not just sprinting. Because people tend to just look at sprinting and look at the last Olympics where discus, shot put. And we're going to touch the track and field after this because these athletes that, wanted to switch, and we're going to get on that afterwards. But we are getting medals in our... So what do you attest to that? I would say it's the coaching. You don't think a man could have shot put 20 years ago if he have the proper coaching?
No, I agree. I agree because that's a more technical event. So I'll definitely agree. But because the track and field, because the sprinting itself brought in so much money, it kind of promote, it kind of, it creates an incentive for more people to get involved in it. So it kind of is a domino effect.
From
so
volunteers to coaching.
Yes.
So,
Everybody starts in their own club now because they see where you can make a good living from
money
it.
is definitely
Yeah.
a
But
factor.
go back to the table tennis. I think we're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
We're in big trouble.
Yeah.
And it's not because of the athletes. It's because of the lack of knowledge about the sport within Jamaica amongst the coaches.
And amongst athletes too as well.
No,
I see some people that I know play table tennis for years and I hear them talk. I don't want to say I know it all,
Yeah.
But they're playing longer than me.
And I'm going to get a beating for this.
And they don't know nothing about it.
Yes, I'm going to get a beating for this.
Not you, Peter. I'm not saying that. I see you looking at me over there. You know a little. Yeah.
So as a national coach, I'm going to get a beating for this, but I have to talk the truth.
Talk the truth.
Yeah, man. We have a lot of ignorant people in this country and ignorant people, ignorant coaches. I don't think they're watching and I don't think they understand what is really happening when they watch all of these videos and everything. They don't know the science of the game.
Analytical.
And because of it, the national program has been fed by the primary coaches, the prep school coaches, and the club coaches. That's what feed the national team. So when we get the players from the various clubs, they're coming into our system with a lot of bad fundamentals. And it set us back in terms of preparing the athletes because it's almost we almost have to start over.
The sport is evolving. You have to evolve with the sport.
But if you know,
it's like you play ska and a dance all the time.
All right, listen to the argument. This is the only thing I side with Peter with this. Listen to the argument.
What?
I side with Peter with this one. Peter is one who always said, boy, everything different and everything new. And everybody used to beat him and say, boy, the 80s and the 70s, everybody keep going back to the 80s and 70s. And I think it's the same mindset and the same mentality the table tennis, most of the people within the table tennis community have. But, we used to do this in the 80s, we used to do this in the 60s, and they carry that over into the coaching and not realizing that the game in the 70s and 60s is vastly different from the game in 2020, so 2021.
They might wear barefoot pants and everybody else in a skinny jeans.
It's a different thing.
Come tell you have a job for the barefoot pants.
Yeah, you cannot apply. I'm not saying that there's certain fundamentals that will carry through.
Going to work in barefoot pants and them co-workers are looking at him.
Exactly.
Times,
Exactly. Yeah. So you just imagine in the 1960s, as a businessman, you can't operate the same way in the 1960s as you do now. No, you have cell phone, you have everything. So I think like the community overall, they need to understand that things are changing and they have to evolve with the time.
Just like raising your kids. You can't raise your kids.
Ken, you know much difference in the sport? You know how many things are...
Talking even the whole world.
It is different.
On the business aspect where you can't run your business like how in the 60s, like how you'd run it now.
Yes.
I mean, growing your kids now would be different than when you were growing up in the 80s, 90s.
Yes.
Vice versa in the 20s.
Exactly.
It's a different environment. And it's just like with sports, you have to evolve and get with it.
Yeah.
I even watching table tennis more now, and I remember growing up in table tennis, you used to put your right foot further back and your left foot.
That don't exist anymore.
That don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
The technique has changed where you're kind of square now.
You have to be square. You have to be square.
But you're going to teach people now whereby you turn
right foot back.
Right foot way back. I'm not saying right foot can't be back.
Jamaican people stubborn, you know.
You cannot. I change my stroke. Even now when I don't play as often, I try to play even more square.
Yes.
And use my forehand with that technique. And if you look at the Chinese, they do it.
Of course, and even the new one now that everybody is fascinated over, is practically square to the table.
Have a problem with copying. I don't think, if you have a blueprint of success, you see a blueprint of success, why not try to copy it? I'm not saying word for word or not, but I mean, there are different economies, different situations, but yet still, you see success even in the region.
Yeah.
What is Damrep doing? What is
Puerto Rico doing? Yeah. What is Cuba doing? Yeah.
You try to copy that. What are the Chinese doing?
Exactly.
And try to take from it where they get their success. And try, because if you keep doing the same thing over and over,
and you're failing, you're going to continue failing.
It's going to be the ignorant part.
Yeah. And the thing I would tell all the people, I know them going come back at me and them little media group what them have out there. But if the ball size change, the material of the ball change, and even the equipment, the rubbers change. So the rubbers that most of the people them using now, it basically neutralizing the spin and contact of the ball.
Spin. It's more pie.
Exactly. And this
and you spin up the ball and you think you get spin.
Mm-hmm.
I even remember playing back in the day where I used to use my backhand and get spin. And I used to have to step back more because if the person does return the ball
pitch.
they go and pitch because I generate spin off my backhand heavily.
That don't exist.
That don't exist anymore. If I go like this, I have to go like this again.
Exactly.
The ball.
Exactly.
I mean, you have to adjust and use your brain and play. But even with coaches, as I say, even on the administrative side. But I mean, Peter has been saying, I have to give Peter credit.
Yeah, that the game changed. And
I think I forced him because he do some shots where he'll be like, all right, you okay, do that, you know, do that. And then I see him come back and doing the same thing. I'm like, this is a smart fellow.
Yep. And you hit the nail on the head doing a King because it's not just in table tennis is a problem. It's a cultural problem, it's a mentality problem that exists in Jamaica. And you know, it's the same thing with the music. What is with Peter? Peter still play current music, you know.
You ever go and
I've never heard Peter play a 1980s or 1990s. Him stay current.
I would give the people them is on Instagram, but
yes.
I don't know if you allow it because I don't want him to be
but
trending now and get enough followers.
But if it's one thing I can agree that Peter evolved with the time.
Peter sings someone me to know.
But I'm telling you, you know, I hear people talk about the music bad now, and the same thing they say about Yellow Man in the 1980s when Yellow Man just come out, you know, at the same complaint they had about Yellow Man.
Why
you know?
people not drive louder now?
Exactly,
get to the times.
Exactly. So
why people not go jet tour now?
Exactly.
Get to the times.
So table tennis in Jamaica until. We're going to try this as a national coaching staff and the association. We're going to try to see if we can put on some workshops and to try to more explain and put it in a way that they can understand and see it. And hopefully that...
Even with that, though, you have certain fundamentals you have to stick to.
No, obviously.
No. The thing changed totally.
No.
The old heads probably come and knock us now and say, oh, you said this, you said that. There's certain fundamentals to the sport that definitely you can get.
Of course.
From the 60s,
certain basics will never change.
Just evolve. Just like when you have dancehall, if you have reggae, and all of that. But certain fundamentals still remain the same.
Of course.
You still have to put in the work. You still have to train. You still have to play hours. But certain things you can't expect that when you used to do it, is the same now.
No.
I don't.
It's
in
not,
a short space of time too as well. I don't get as much spin out of my
It's not even close.
10 years ago.
I was talking to a parent last night, and I tell them, said, the game come like it changed even last month.
Yeah. I'm telling you, overnight, in like 5 years.
Yes.
Since COVID.
It changed 5 years ago. It changed 2 years ago. It changed this year.
Just like Hugo.
Yep.
You can Hugo Calderano.
Yep.
5-10 years ago versus how he plays now. It's a difference.
Exactly. So
we're not knocking, the foundation and the
yeah.
Because we're going to be the old heads at some point.
Obviously.
Don't try to impart knowledge, but yet still you have to kind of tailor it in terms of you have to know that it's like this now.
You have to know the science.
Different approach.
You have to know the science. The ball is heavier, less spin. You have to understand the science. And you, as the coach, once you understand the science, your responsibility is to develop a specific technique that is more efficient based on what is happening now.
I see my 4-year-old daughter on the phone doing things and with app and all of that, and I'm like, at 4.
Yeah,
I don't even know to turn on probably a TV.
Exactly. So
as I said, different. You have exposed to different things.
All right. So we're gonna get back to the TT because we know we all right. So in terms of the senior championship now, it was pretty much the same. We didn't medal at all. Yeah. The juniors, it was maybe one of the worst championship that I've ever experienced. But there's always a positive from it because, as you say, it's a relatively young team. So I was expecting 1 or 2 medals here and there in the under 19 boys, but it didn't happen this time around. But you have to take the positive from everything. They got a chance to experience and to see and to see.
I want them to get better. I want them to do good. We're not knocking them.
Yeah. And to see what is out there and what they have to do in order to reach the level. Because we had hiccups during the preparation leading up to it, and it was good that we had the hiccups. Because most of the hiccups came from the players. And it's good that they see that, okay, because I did this, this happened to me. So sometimes you have a bucket foot to learn. And I think it was a good experience and a good tour from that point of view. But in terms of winning and medals, it was maybe the worst I've ever experienced.
I remember slamming my finger in the car door when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I cry. I never forget it. I don't remember much from.
And you never do it again, right?
That would never happen to me again.
Sometimes you have a bucket foot for learn and
I'll be like,
yeah. Yeah, you have a bucket too. Yeah, man.
Just
So,
like if you don't put up the handbrake sometimes with vehicles. One time that car gonna roll back in it. Every time you're gonna put up the handbrake in it.
Yeah.
So you have to learn from certain things and certain things.
Exactly.
But one thing I have to knock you on door, 'cause I'll tell you before the show.
All right.
I'm gonna ask you, and I can't make it slip. And I'm hurt by it. How is it that Jamaica, land we love, black, gold, and green,
yeah.
out there playing in blue t-shirt? It's just like the reggae boys, you know. That's not reggae boys, you know. I see that's what I was going to
The
say.
reggae boys played in blue,
Reggae boys
right?
play in black. I see a red stripe they're talking about. Reggae colors and Rasta and this and
Cameroon.
look like Cameroon, look like Antigua, look like all those countries.
Yeah.
We are black, green, and gold. We're the only country in the world that don't have red or white. And not the reggae boys. And now I see Jamaica table tennis team playing in blue, Dale.
Or maybe.
I didn't see in the shirt taking pictures.
Oh, okay.
I noticed I didn't see you in the shirt,
Yeah.
but I see other people.
I can answer the question. I can answer. You know, just as we said, times are changing and things are evolving.
Times are changing.
Well, I'm here to answer to this.
Things are evolving, and at times, you know, maybe in this regard, maybe it was a slight error, but we also had a sponsor that the primary color of the sponsor was blue. Right, and so it might
put it here.
That makes it worse.
You put it.
The blue one, that makes it worse.
No,
you're digging a hole.
No, it's not a hole. But I'm just saying that things are changing. The reggae boys played in blue, maybe because of the same thing, because of
Reggae was playing red.
red, where they play in a different color, maybe because of the same thing. So you have to understand that things are changing.
No, things are changing.
No,
so,
No. And maybe down the line we'll probably have to use different colors based on the marketing of our sponsors. So
we're no longer Jamaica anymore, you know.
No, we are still Jamaica. We are still Jamaica. But as I say, it might have been just a slight error on our part in terms of that. But one of our major sponsors, that's the colors. That's their color, the blue.
So
right,
I'm just saying, you can wear the shirt.
Yes.
You can take pictures in the shirt.
Yes.
You can promote the sponsor, all of that. But if you're going out there and you're playing Ghana, you're playing the same you cannot represent the country.
And the next thing too.
What he's saying, you're representing the sponsor, not the country.
And the next thing, you have to remember that Jamaica is not such a loyal country, you know, because we had the Cubans that were so close to us, and all of a sudden the country that we're the blue, we decided to just sell out. After these Cubans been giving us all
No,
the
you're
help.
going on a different...
But I'm just saying that we're not that loyal anyway, so it doesn't matter the color.
You know? You're in the words of Chris
I'm
Brown.
I'm joking on that point.
These
though.
bitches ain't loyal. That's basically what you're saying.
I'm joking. But it was... I agree with you. We're supposed to stick to our colors, but...
Imagine I'm running for KC, and you're Kane Watson coming down the lane, and
in green and
KC
black.
in green and black. I'd be like, huh? No, bro.
Yeah.
You represent your brand, whatever, your country.
Yeah.
You're known. Once you see purple and one
So the reggae boys got sponsored by this, is that why they had the red on the shirt?
No. Some Bob Marley thing.
It's Adidas.
It's Adidas. So it's the same sponsorship program. It's a red logo.
Red lines. That's what
That's what I'm saying.
It still has black, green, and gold on it.
Yes, but it's because of the sponsors. So maybe things are slightly changing. Maybe things are just slightly changing.
It's American sponsor.
Which one? It's a Jamaican brand.
Jamaican sponsor.
Yeah.
Jamaican won't understand that you have to play in black, green, and
No, of course, I think they would understand. Let's just say it might have been a slight, little shift, little error,
hey,
right there. But
I played for this country.
but don't go back to the same thing. What we talk about 1980s or back in the 1980s. Maybe things are changing now.
Dale, I'm not playing in blue.
Some things are fundamental.
The coach.
Oh, so that is fundamental.
The coach.
That's like one of the basic things.
We chose a flag. We chose a flag.
Yeah.
And that flag have green, gold, and black.
Even if we don't choose it, we grow up comes
Just
represent.
use it.
Yes.
Use it.
I
And
agree.
the coach would have to be upset with me. The president, my teammates.
What is it? You didn't like all the green?
I am not going out there in blue.
You have an issue with the green?
I
am not going out there in blue.
can agree with what you guys are saying around the table.
I don't know. You guys ever played for Jamaica? You played
No,
for Jamaica?
I believe.
You played for Jamaica already? You played for Jamaica?
Yeah,
Would
did
you
he
go
make
there
it?
blue?
No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't.
Would you go there blue?
I would refuse to play.
No, I wouldn't go
I
to blue.
refuse to
Him
play.
say, I would not go there in blue.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have to fix that. But hey,
Yeah.
you them represent. I'm glad
Yeah.
to see that. And I mean,
We have a lot of work to do. I'll tell you this,
I want them
and
to
I don't care what anybody wants. So we have enough work to do, and the coaches have to change their mindset. And Peter always talk about the same thing with the old-time players, talking about, oh, them used to this and used to do that. It's a new time now. The different age.
It's a game that you have to keep up with, table tennis.
So I agree with Peter
Because
with
you
that
were
one.
good in the 80s or the 70s. You're not good now. Not necessarily good now. You can be good, but
Yeah.
not necessarily good.
All right, people. All right.
It's time of sports commentary with controversy.
Welcome back, Dale Parham, from a long trip representing Jamaica as a coach. Normally, people expect me to be very critical of table tennis. I'm not going to criticize table tennis because I've been threatened and I've been pressured and I've been ostracized and I've been by saying things about table tennis. I speak about a lot of sports, but it's best that I don't say anything at this time. We're taking it. But one thing though, I think the enthusiasm is coming back because we had the largest delegation there. We had a lot of coaches, we had a lot of parents, a lot of supporters, but not that many players. The ratios were not in the right thing. I think that we should focus on the active players who go out there. But we have done it at every level. I've seen it in track and field, where I've been to many multi-sport disciplines, as have you. And I noticed that there's a lot of physiotherapists who tend to get the trip. And there's a lot of administrators. And there's a lot of all this kind of thing on a typical Jamaica team. Usually, even at the flag raising and flag closing ceremonies, very few athletes are there. It's mostly the physio and a few players who stick around. Yeah. So it's time we need to get back to ourselves and focus on what's important.
They play their role still.
Playing. Yeah. What do you guys make of reselling down in Australia, like a junior games? A little man with a weird-looking skull and his teeth hanging out and thing. 19.67 in Australia. Congratulations to Goat. Is he 19 years old yet? 20? Probably 19 years old.
19?
Yeah, Goat ran a race down in Australia there. And it was apparently a good race for everybody else because 1 through 6, everybody under 20 seconds. Or close enough to it. Every single man in that race ran 0.5 of a second faster than his previous best time. Now, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying the track was downhill. I'm not saying anything like that. But geez, man, that's a good race if so many people can do their best in a single race.
Imagine Bolt on that track.
Yeah, can you? Bolt would have probably run 18 seconds on that Australian track.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Bolt has.
So some time ago, I heard Dale No Chance Parham announce that Elaine have no chance of coming back. And I have lived to see Elaine. Did she do sub-11 the other day?
Yeah, I mean.
I see Elaine looking good. And I would like to use this opportunity to ask Dale, how you like me now?
Look at me now.
Look at me now. You know, Elaine, she looking good, she promising, and we all wish her the best. And class is class, And not everybody should be in the business of predicting how much chance people have. Because if Elaine had stopped her career, we would have missed the return of the lady. Okay. Had she stopped based on Dale Parham's advice. So even though there are some people who have to take his advice around the table tennis table, we don't have to take his advice. And Elaine, I'm glad you didn't take Dale Parham's advice and decided to continue on. The Bible says the race is not for the swift. I don't even know if the Bible said it. But for she who endures. And Elaine has endured, eh?
Yeah.
Elaine has endured. I have to give her credit instead of listening to people like Dale Parham. Anyway, World Athletics. There are 4 Jamaican people. There's a song by say we not sell out, we friend them. Is who sing that?
Cargo.
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 There are a few Jamaican athletes who did sell out the country. Their names are Roger Stoner, Rajendra Campbell, Jadon Hibbert. The one time they said Jadon Hibbert was the next Bolt, you know? You didn't know that?
Yeah. Roll call, eh?
And Wayne Pinnock.
Roll call.
They wanted to switch allegiance to Turkey, which is not spelled Turkey nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Turkey.
Yeah.
And what happened now is that the World Athletics said this looked like a plot. You can't just take the man them like that, man. You understand what I'm saying? You can imagine you grow some things, and you grow some yams, yellow yam, white yam, and all that, and some very soft yams, even pum pum yam. And you have a set of yams, and people come and just want to take the pum pum.
Just that, yeah.
Just the pum pum yams. You know what I mean? And it's not fair because these guys are like the pum pum yam. Where is our best track field athletes?
Feel like
Is it fair?
Yeah, you're
Is it
better.
fair?
You're a bit
And I'm saying you can. Nothing is wrong if you take a few dasheen, a few cocoa, but you come and take the 4 pum pum. Yum. Sorry, let me move. So anyway, there's a Jamaican UFC fighter fighting, I think tonight, Aljamain Sterling. I didn't like how Aljamain lost to Tupuria last time. We wish him all the best. I make no prediction though, because I don't know the opponent. It's Yusuf. He's fighting a guy named Yusuf Zalal. And next week, we see one of the most exciting fighters coming out, Chimaev. You didn't know that?
wicked, man.
Chimaev is going out against Sean Strickland.
Big punch.
No, Strickland is a big fighter. He's an American. He just keep coming forward and throwing these little, you know, Jeet Kune Do punches, straight punches. And he just keep coming forward like this. Those of us who studied martial arts, I did Wing Chun and I did Shaolin. And also I did a little bit of Jeet Kune Do with Bruce Lee. They punch straight like this. So Sean Strickland fight like this, very annoying. But for him to go against Chimaev, I think Chimaev is going to hold him down, wrestle him to the ground like a pig, and humiliate him over how many rounds it lasts. I don't think Strickland should be in the same class. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Should be in the same class. But the real exciting fight that's coming up, I wrote it down here. What is it? It's not Chimaev. There is the White House fight where Tupuria fights again in UFC. But UFC has taken a bit of a lull. The other day I saw a sad fight where Adesanya was fighting and lost. And I think it seems to me like Adesanya will look so invincible. Remember the last style bender they call him. And to see an athlete like that get knocked out so easy nowadays, I think once you lose that air of invincibility, you're vulnerable.
Reigns, yeah.
You know, I used to have that ear of invincibility,
Until I got the.
but I kept my ear. That's the difference. So, guys, you think Iran should play the World Cup?
Why not?
Iran qualified for the World Cup, but is actually going to a World Cup in which they're hosted by a country that has bombed them. They're at war with. So how safe will the Iranians be in the USA? How safe will they be in the USA? And how safe, how many visas will be granted their supporters to go and watch the match? It seems that somebody has taken preemptive action and announced that Italy should replace Iran. And so they call the Italian president and say, hey, Prezi, we're going to throw you a bone. You know, we're going to throw you some crumbs from the table. In case the Iranians don't turn up, we're going to throw you a wet rag. And the president of Italy, having some pride, said, no, we're not sell out to friend them. No kidding. Him say I'm not taking it. You know, so we don't know who it will be. Maybe Jamaica might get the offer if our handball thing don't come true. Of
Jamaicans don't sell out.
some crumbs from they sell out a lot. Look at Rajay Stoner. Rajay. Anyway,
PM,
let me say one quick thing about table tennis. In 3 or 4 days, the World Team Championship starts. And I'm going to dub this the most exciting World Championships we've ever seen, because it is a rare, there's only been one time in my lifetime, you know, where China has been vulnerable. And that was when the Swedes had 3 players, elite players, Jürgen Persson, Michael Appelgren, and the player who most people name me after, Jan Ove Walner. Those three, the goal squad they were called, the Chinese were definitely afraid of them. And they beat the Chinese on more than one occasion. On this occasion, though, there's a group of elite players. I could name 6 or 7 of them right off the top of my head that are capable of beating any of the bottom Chinese. Right?
3.
And only one Chinaman can say, I will definitely beat all these guys. In the past, it used to be 3 or 4. So China is vulnerable. Only Wang Chuqin is operating at, I would call it, Chinese levels. Lin Shidong, who was dominating last year, has lost form completely. And he's lost his way, and yet they put him in the team. He had an injury, he's not prepared, and yet they put him in the team. Liang Jinkun can't beat a foreigner, and yet they put him in the team.
Him lose to Argentina.
Yeah. Zhao Qihao, who can't make a Chinese second team and couldn't make a Chinese team squad.
Argentina.
Zhao Qihao couldn't make a Chinese squad several years ago, and he's in the team. Weakest Chinese team ever. There's a Chinaman who I find quite strong named Ren Weibo, who won the last second league tournament. What they call him? Contenders. Yeah, he won the last contenders. And he's not in the team.
What?
Who is in charge in China? The Chinaman them is in danger. Because I think they can lose to France. I think they can lose to Japan. Right?
They can lose to Japan for sure.
I think they can lose to Japan.
Lose to Sweden.
No, they can't lose to Sweden. Not even so bad. No. Sweden have one player that can beat a Chinese. And
what about number 3?
No, the point is that China is vulnerable. And that makes this World Championships interesting. We should watch it. On the women's side, there's no such thing. The women's side, the Chinese will walk through easy. Why are police stopping traffic with machine guns, high-powered guns in Jamaica? A visitor said to me they feel very nervous about it in Jamaica, tourists. You don't, why do we need to stop? Isn't a uniform enough and maybe a flashlight or a whistle? Why is the police coming out with high-powered Kalashnikov, AR-16, M16 to stop traffic? And then they straighten up the traffic. It's intimidating, man. We should be able to move around the country freely. We should have liberty and the pursuit of happiness in Jamaica. Why do we have police? And by the way, the police youth, them is very young now, and they don't seem to have a lot of manners. There's no good morning, sir.
No emotional intelligence.
And we're conducting us. They have no emotional intelligence. And there are too many young men on the road stopping people with automatic rifles and asking women for the numbers and all this kind of thing. You know, with the time we get a more professional force, we need to raise the age and have less people with high-powered weapons stopping people in the traffic. Why do the police have so many? The other day I saw them taking about 12 pickup trucks off the wharf. Police pickup trucks, taking them to Hope Road. And they're using their alarms to drive on the road. No, I think that's an abuse of sirens. I don't think transporting is a life or death. Transporting some Hilux vehicles from the port to the thing there, I don't think it's life or death. And I think that's an abuse of sirens. You guys agree?
Yeah.
I don't think these guys should be forcing me out of the road so that they can go park these cars up at Hope Road. And I condemn the police for doing that. No. Why are so many young entertainers getting firearms approved by the Firearm Licensing Association? Recently, a blogger, and you guys are bloggers. You get guns, or you get guns. You guys have guns, or you can't say. You can't say at this particular time.
Nothing to declare.
Because some blogger said something about some up-and-coming artists. I don't even say talented artists, you know, because I try to listen to what the guy is singing to understand. I never heard of this singer before, right? And they went after a blogger who they didn't like, and they went with guns blazing, apparently. And according to what they said, the blogger was able to disarm one of them and discharge his weapon back at them, and it's very exciting stuff. But blogging, for example, you talk about speed. So if you go to a carnival party and you book up speed, is speed likely to attack you with firearms blazing?
Oh, Froggy.
Yes, yeah, Froggy. Froggy is the attacking butler. But I think that the fire alarm it should be restricted to people whose lives and property are at real danger. These little entertainers they run out on the stage and say two little things and run off. They deserve a gun?
It's not the entertainer, it's the producer.
Is the entertainer having a gun?
No, the producer.
Well, what is he producing? Dancehall music? What is he defending?
Yeah.
Anyhow, I don't think it's that serious. It's just dancehall music. I don't think that even in the days of Clash, when I used to go, there were bottles that were thrown. Now the man them firing live rounds at each other. It's a bit much for me. It's a bit of a generational gap. And that's sports commentary. What say you?
Yes, man.
Controversial boss himself, man. Never shot on controversy.
Yes, Froggy, you have to jump in, knowing them. But I wanted to ask you guys, what was the takeaway from Speed interview and Butler's interview in terms of comparison, in terms what we were saying?
Jamaican football.
Yeah.
To the dogs.
Just like the TT.
Yes, in Sham.
Yeah.
I don't see.
Sorry, so let me clear that up. When I say just like the TT, I mean in terms of the level. Yeah, continue. Yeah.
It's in.
Yeah. No, I have to clear it up. I'm talking. Yeah.
It's too much
No, go and touch
things
it.
going on that affecting who goes on the field.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. Exactly. That's what we were complaining about.
It's
No,
Yeah.
you're complaining too much.
not heading in the right direction. I mean, it's dividing in the boardroom. It's dividing on the field. Dividing on the coaching staff, that technical team. It's just divided. And you can't have progress with that. So that's what my takeaway from both interviews.
Yeah. Yeah.
System is not
System.
one
Yeah.
that will lead to progress.
To success.
So we're going to this stuff
To
for
success.
the
Yeah.
next cycle.
Yeah.
Maybe the cycle after that.
Big keen basically take everything.
I mean,
Yeah.
he posed a question to me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that was basically it. The football in Jamaica is not, it's basically dead.
So the administration problem.
Administration itself. And I really think a lot of, this is where I start out. We failed to qualify for the World Cup. You don't even get an apology in terms of a press conference. It's a boy, the nation, whatever. Nothing from the JFF to apologize to the nation for what happened. Then there's not even an audit of what took place, how we reached this point, how we end up qualifying, where were the problems, nothing. And then by last week, they wanted to have a new coach.
I mean, we don't have a coach because Speed is the interim coach at this point in time. So we
No
need
coach,
to fill the
he's
position.
not interim either. There's no coach. We don't have a
Yeah,
coach.
so we need to fill the position.
So but the problem is, how are you selecting a coach and you don't even have an analysis of why we failed the World Cup
Maybe
in the
they
first
did, but they
place?
don't publicly put it out.
That's the problem.
Should
There's
it be
no-
public though?
Of course, there's no transparency. There's no accountability in the JFF.
I don't really think
There's,
that should be
there's
public.
nothing there.
I don't think. Well, they must do that though. They must sit
They
down.
have to do. They have.
But I don't think you can publish.
Publicize it.
No, but
Yeah.
you owe the
It can
nation-
be. It can be internal as well. You know.
You owe the nation
Or explanation.
explanation as
Are
well.
we? Are,
what
hold on there.
explanation
Are
do we
we
need?
paying them? Or
What explanation
So
do
who
we
for
need?
money them are using?
the taxpayers' money
That's the money
help
they
to
use.
contribute?
It's who for money going to stadium? When Jamaica
think
have
so.
matches, whose money going?
No, but that's a choice.
What explanation could they come with that we do already see? You muff it. You muff the thing.
It don't matter. Come and say something.
The reason why we didn't qualify was
Yeah,
the
come and
reason
say
why.
something. We said, but you're not. Are
I've
they
seen-
accepting the
I've
reasons
seen-
why?
I've seen some of the players post on their.
Yeah, the
social media
players. The
platforms.
players come out and say them
Yambe,
sorry.
Low, all of them apologizing. Blake saying, "Hey, we wanted to do this for you guys, and I mean, we're sorry." And
As
move
it
on
relates
forward,
to
but
Jamaica's-
players do it. But I mean, does the JFF ever come out and make a public statement? Where
Yes.
They come on sports news where
Yes.
what's Michael Ricketts has said to the nation, he is sorry that we didn't qualify.
No, he is. Yeah.
Those are just words anyway, semantics. They're just going to rub salt in the roots. I don't want to hear nothing from them.
I want them to all leave.
That is something different.
All leave.
That is something.
Because when I look at where the Jamaica football is, everyone that can contribute has basically been thrown away. Look at the JPL. We had Chris Williams and the PFJL and what they were doing with the Jamaica Premier League. The traction it was gaining with the public. Back to where it should be. I have to leave.
Why? What happened with that? Because it's a big news.
Yeah, with some.
I know lawsuit is out there because
Well, I guess we need to get an interview with somebody from the
then you have
JPL.
Peter Gould down by Mount
inform
Pleasant.
us of what is really going on.
You have Epstein.
I'm ignorant to all of what is going on.
It's joke. All of the persons who can do something and uplift the football is a big joke. You look at the JFF right now, you look at the hierarchy. The technical director of the JFF, his role is supposed to be someone who can impart the knowledge down, bring it up from the grassroots coming up, impart a system of play. So you use that system of play from the grassroots, comes straight up. Everything from under 15, under 17, under 20 comes straight up to the senior team. That technical director is Andrew Peart.
Andrew Peart.
What coaching license Andrew Peart have? What coaching knowledge does he have to teach anybody within the within Jamaican space, footballing space? When we go and hire a coach,
So you think you need a license?
you mean when we go and hire a coach from overseas?
I don't have a license. You don't think I can coach the junior teams in table tennis?
But that's the problem. It's not about juniors alone. What about the seniors? Remember, I know
You don't think I can coach the seniors? I don't have a license. You don't think I can do it?
you can. Anybody can coach.
No, but I'm just saying.
But
I don't
if
think
you-
need a
if you-
license,
if-
but he's been around the sport. Andrew Peart has been around
Been
the
around
sport.
the
for a while.
sport, but the professionalism about it.
I'm just
when
saying,
you-
do we have anybody better?
When you hire a Hal Grimson, and Hal Grimson is going to look at this guy, he have him license, he's a big coach, and he's going to look at you and say, oh, what you going to tell me? What me not know already? You go for Steve McCarron, as bad as him be.
By the way, Tapa license?
Tapa has a A license.
No, but I'm just saying, where do you think Tapa get him knowledge from? You think doing all those courses and getting that license?
Yep, he has it.
You
By
think,
the
where you think Tapa get him
you still need a license
I'm
because you
just
have to show
saying,
it.
Where do you think Tapa get him?
In football skills,
Knowledge from.
the knowledge, playing the game,
Yeah.
and understanding the
But
game.
not everybody who
But
play
yes,
the game can be a good coach, though.
exactly, but
I'm
that's
just
the
saying.
reason where the paper comes into play because you can play.
Paper.
The paper, no. The
Let me
paper
tell you
is
something.
simple.
Hold on, no.
Let me tell you something about the paper. The paper is just a fraud business, man.
That's what I'm telling
I
you.
understand.
I think the paper. I think the paper causes the most problem in our sports. The
If you go
people
by
that
the
say they're
paper.
certified and qualified for this, they don't know
If
nothing.
you go by a paper, you don't have to go by the paper. You just use the paper as your means to say,
It's a
I am
fraud.
qualified.
It's a-
Yeah, but
it's
you're
a fraud.
qualified,
It's a
but you still need it to show your qualification.
Frankie, you have level
Let's
3.
qualify.
Hold on, you have level 3.
Where do you think Bert is getting
Hold on a
knowledge from?
second. Kim,
But where's the coach from?
we have
90?
level 3 table tennis
91.
coaches in Jamaica right now
Yes.
that don't know how to loop. Cannot teach loop, cannot teach topspin, but he's a level 3, right? Or she's a level 3.
Yeah.
It's
But
fraud.
I understand
It is
that.
just
but
paper fraud. It's
But
just-
what I'm saying,
the
you still
system what
need
them
it.
bring to the West is garbage.
So you tell me, say the ones that
No
are in the East-
Chinaman value any form of certification in table tennis over experience. No
Who coaches
Chinaman.
Who coaches the Chinese national team?
I don't know. You tell me.
A former player.
Does he have a coaching license?
No.
He doesn't.
Why you need one? He has experience, Froggy.
So you tell me, say,
He got through the trenches.
so Jamaica needs to go
Froggy,
down
that
that
makes
road.
somebody operate on you.
Who?
That never do any operation, but and a man who do a
No, you have to have the experience. It goes hand in
experience
hand.
is more important
goes hand
than
in hand.
paper. What hand in hand you
Goes hand
talking
in
about?
hand. It goes hand in hand.
No, because you believe in the Western, how the Western,
It's
the
not
West
about
do
have a
it.
belief in a Western or whatever.
You're talking
Frank,
about
you don't
all
have-
that.
you don't have
You're
to have-
going to
you-
the point of not having
You
a
don't
balance.
have, you don't have to have the
I'm just saying,
what I'm
paperwork.
saying-
Been around the sport and know certain things. And I'm just
So that makes
it's
the
not
quali-
everybody who plays can coach.
Aye.
But some people have the adept awareness of being a coach or being able to coach.
You know,
We are aight.
I have a quote my friend Todd.
We're
you
not.
know.
We're not.
I have a quote my friend Todd. This famous poet in Jamaica. A man with an experience is never at the mercy of a man with an argument. Period.
I think we need a shot on that, you know. We need to build a shot.
Listen,
Period.
we are not in the East. So we're not going to
Experiences.
speak about what is in the East. We are talking about where we are at now. If you say you need to have this qualification,
Why do you say we need to have that?
if the
What do you mean
system,
need to have
if the
it?
system that is in place say you need this
So
qualification.
you think that
reg-
Miguel Cole is a good coach because him get all them license?
No, he got the experience. But at the end of the day, what he did, he went overseas and gained more knowledge.
Yes.
And he had to put that knowledge on a piece of paper and say,
No, but
I'm not-
suppose never
but
put
we
it on a piece
already,
of paper though.
but we already know he
get
has
what
that.
I'm
saying? Yeah.
But what I'm saying, we are in a culture, a system here that requires for you to
That's
No.
why. That's why we're failing.
No.
That is why we're
What do you mean
failing.
by no?
That is why
I
we're
don't
failing.
care if you have a pro A license or not. If you're a good coach, Coach.
Coach.
Yeah.
Give me the
I don't know, no problem with
Pep. So give me the history of Pep. Pep have all of these.
Yeah.
But where do you think Pep get it from, though?
But Pep understood the game as a midfielder.
From the
But
football.
going back to the classroom itself, it shows a different aspect of the game.
So you think the classroom taught Pep more?
No,
Okay.
That's the point.
because remember, you know,
Okay.
you only gain a certain level within the school. You know, you still have to go outside. You know.
Anyway, I can
yourself.
understand the easy sport football, but
And the
table
easy
tennis
sport?
is experience.
Every sport
Every sport need experience. Every coach need experience.
sport need
Every
experience.
single coach need experience.
sport
I
need
agree.
Because remember one, you know,
Every
when
sport
you're at the school, you know, it only can put you down
People,
apart.
well, 1 minute, but track and field,
Oh, yes, we didn't even touch on track and
track
field.
and field.
They'll call it today, man.
yeah.
They'll call it today. But you know, so
Call
we
it
enough
today.
aside with you.
Yeah,
Don't let that 10-9 fool you, you know. I don't think it...
exactly.
I
With
don't know what you
Ilian.
guys talking about.
No, she's on the right trajectory, but I don't think she's back where, yes, Ilian is going to make this team. That's how youngsters coming up.
Remember, say Ilian was always a 1 year runner. You know, she run good for this year, she run bad next year.
Why?
No,
Because she
because
was running
of
with that
injury.
injury all along.
Yeah, injury.
And what did that
And
happen?
one person know how to manage that injury,
And one person
and it's
said,
Mr.
Kelly,
Francis.
Eh, who is coaching? But who is coaching her now?
Tell us.
Tell us.
Mr. Walcott.
Well, she got
Where's
back.
Walcott coming from?
Yeah, but...
Okay.
Okay. And what did I always say?
But she
Gillian
was
need-
with Walcott, one of the.
Yeah, but she was still running. she had to take a year off.
Okay.
She was, when she
Also, Fraggy is in the lane corner, you know. Fraggy in the lane
Osborne,
corner.
yeah.
Osborne.
Osborne.
Same front of camp.
But
But what
if
I said,
you take that,
she needed a year out of the sport. She
I
needed
wish her
some
well
time
doing
out of
because
course.
she's Jamaican, and I think she's one of the greatest of all time. So
Yes.
I wish her
Very
well.
underrated.
But
When you
based on what I know about
human
being ungrateful, I just don't think she have a
Pay her
chance.
dues.
She pay her dues.
Pay the dues.
She pay the dues.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So she's back.
She's forgiven. She's forgiven.
She's forgiven.
I mean, I think she can make the relay
1
pool.
year out of the sport, she go.
I think she can make the relay pool.
She
All
will be
right.
making the team.
Guys, we have to
She
wrap
done the
up.
team this year.
Yeah.
Next year we'll talk about.
World release.
All right. People have wrap up the show next week. We're going to bring some NBA.
And sorry for the delay at the start. You know what? I've almost a 15 minutes delay, which took up which took up most of the talk time. Yeah. So
Next week, we're going to break down some NBA, some more track and field news.
Yeah.
Pen relay is going on. Track and field season is,
In full swing.
full.
World release coming up
Yeah,
in May. May 2nd.
And you know, said June is what? World Cup.
World Cup.
So we even have more football to talk about.
And we have Commonwealth Games. We have a lot of things coming
So,
up.
all
I
right.
mean, sports never stop people.
All right. So overall, thank our listeners and viewers on Fit FM 96.7, the western side of the island of Jamaica, and also our Primal 4K family. You know, big up.
I mean, hey, enjoy the weekend, watch some sports. You know, we rep the black, green, and gold. We're not wearing the blue.
Exactly.
It's going to go already. But big up, peace, love. Hey, see you next week.